Hello everybody, I am Total Pokemon, and this is the first episode of a new series, aka my first series, I suppose you could say, and if you've seen the title, which I assume you have, since you're actually watching the video, you know what it's gonna be. So let's go ahead and jump right into things. File, open. Here we go, Pokemon Rijon Adventures. So, first off, this is going to be a Wedlocke run of Pokemon Rijon Adventures. For those of you that don't know what Pokemon Rijon Adventures is, it's a Pokemon ROM hack of, I don't exactly know which game, I'm pretty sure it's Fire Red, and yeah, I've never played it before, but I have seen playthroughs of it. And that's for those of you that don't know what a Wedlocke is, during the, there we go. During the intro of this, I'm going to explain to you exactly what a Nuzlocke is. A Nuzlocke, well, I don't really know how I would explain it too well, but I know Marriland, a pretty big Pokemon YouTuber, has done a few of them, and is currently in the works of a Pokemon Y Wonder Wedlocke. Let me just turn that down a little bit for you. And essentially, what I'm going to do is, if my explanation is not good enough for you guys, I'm going to go ahead and link you guys in the description to Marriland's own explanation of this. So, pardon me, this is going to be an episode that is sort of less than what the others are going to be. These are all going to be about 30 minutes, half hour long. So, you can see by the timer in the, or not so much timer, but kind of like a digital clock in the bottom left corner of the screen, that, yeah, we're going to end this at 10:30. Or in about 30 minutes. So essentially, what a Wedlocke is sort of like basic Nuzlocke rules, for one, you know, the basic Nuzlocke rules of that you can only catch the first Pokemon you encounter on a route, or that you can, or that, you know, if Pokemon Fangs is considered dead and must be released. But there's some other rules that are in a Wedlocke in specific that I'm going to go ahead and explain to you right now before we jump in. Actually, you know, we might as well go ahead and jump in first, get started, whilst I explain. The thing about a Wedlocke is that Pokemon, when you catch them, must be paired, and can only fight in their pairs. So, for example, if you got a pair of a Bulbasaur and a Geodude, they can only fight together. So, I'll explain that right now. So, say you have a full team of 6 Pokemon. Random examples of pairs: Bulbasaur and Geodude, Mareep and Riolu, Pidgey and Graveler. Pidgey and Spearow, why not? As an example of how you would have to use those in battle, say you went into a battle and had Bulbasaur as the first member of your party. Well, then you would only get the chance to switch into that partner of Bulbasaur, Geodude. And Geodude will only be able to switch into Bulbasaur. So, I can't really explain this too good. So guys, be sure to go watch Marriland's explanation of how he does it in the description below. And while you're at it, go ahead and watch through some of his Wedlocks. They're actually really good. And another thing is that this is kind of difficult to explain. So essentially, say one of the say the first Pokemon you get, your starter, is a male. Then the first Pokemon you actually catch on a route would have to be female, so they would be paired, kind of like they're dating in a way. So I can't explain this too well. I don't know why this is suddenly difficult for me to do on camera. And it's really freaking simple, but I can't explain it for the life of me. My point is, I know the rules. I'm playing with some added rules. For example, I'm playing with the Dupe's Clause. And what Dupe's Clause is, for those of you that don't know, Dupe's Clause is so that if my first encounter is a Pokemon I've already caught, then I can go ahead and skip over it and go with the next encounter. I'm going to also be playing with Shiny Claws, which makes it so if I run into a Shiny, even if it's on a route that I've already captured a Pokemon on, I can catch it. Just because it's a freaking Shiny and it is amazing. Now, another thing I forgot to explain about the Wedlocke run is that you cannot switch Pokemon in and out of the PC until one of the Pokemon in a pair dies. Then you must switch it out with a Pokemon of the same gender of the fallen one, so that it will still fit the pair. Another is that I had one in specific I wanted to mention, but I forgot about it. Oh, right now I remember. If you run it, say your starter was a male. If you ran into another male Pokemon as your first encounter, it would not count as a first encounter and you would just skip over it. Same with genderless Pokemon. Genderless Pokemon do not count as your first encounter because, well, they're genderless, they can't feel love at all. So, yeah. And that's all I can remember to mention at this point. Oh, yeah, I should also probably mention that some people in Nuzlocke and other Pokemon challenges enjoy to limit themselves on healing items with Pokemon Centers. I am not going to do that. I am going to be using healing items. I'm going to be going to Pokemon Centers. But unless it is in a wild battle. So unless it's in a random encounter, I'm not going to be using healing items in battle. I will, as I just stated, in random battles, but in trainer battles or boss battles, I'm not going to be using healing items. But yeah, that's enough explaining for now. I might as well go ahead and get into what's actually been going on. We've been in the basic introduction for about 6 minutes with Professor Tim. I've been a male and named myself Sean, my actual name, and now we are introducing our rival that we are now going to name. Yo, Sean, it's been a long time since we last met. That's right, I'm making sure that is his voice. Do you remember my name? Yes, I do. Your name is going to be A-L-E-X. Alex. Your name is going to be Alex. And I apologize for any, slow progress. As you can probably guess from this being on a computer screen, I'm not actually using, a game controller. I'm actually doing this on a keypad. I know the controls, but it's kind of difficult to do from my viewpoint. Z is A, X is B, backspace is select, enter is start, and the arrow keys control movement. There's also a speed up button, which is spacebar, but I'm not going to be using that unless I am training up on Pokemon on screen, which I want you guys to tell me if I should do that or not. So should I train Pokemon on or off screen, depending on how much they need trained? I'm gonna leave that up to you guys. Is Alex a guess? Yup. Great! Glad you remember! I feel like his voice has already changed. I have played a little bit of a test run, but not too much at all. I've only, literally, as far as I've gotten is 2 Pokemon. Right, I got it. You're Sean, Red's kid, aren't you? Yes, I'm using the speed up button because I can't go to text speed fast, and this is really annoying. Pleased to meet you. Rijon's quite a large region. You've got so many places to explore, and so much training to do. I wish you luck on your journey. Are you ready? Let's begin. So now, much like in the old Game Boy Advance, some Game Boy days of Pokemon, and most games of Pokemon we wake up in our bedroom. It's a Wii! A remote serves as its controller. Now, one thing I really want to do before I forget is go into options. I keep hitting shift instead of Z. Text speed, fast. Battle scene, I'm going to leave that on. Battle style, shift. In most Nuzlocke, actual Nuzlocks, I would recommend going to set. But with how much more difficult a Wedlocke already is, I'm going to leave it on shift. Sound, I don't know what that is, so I'm not going to edit it. Button mode, I'm fine with this one. Frame, I always love going with the old school style Game Boy frame. That is what I'm going to go with. And, as well as the fact that we have a PC. Item storage, withdraw item. Potion! We're back to having potions in the PC. Excellent. And I'm not going to be checking my trainer ID yet, and whoa. Sean, good morning. So yesterday we celebrate your birthday, and today you want to run off on your journey? Don't we all have so many dreams to pursue? Professor Jen is waiting for you to go pick up a Pokemon at her lab. Her Pokemon lab is in Graveltown. That's south from here. Also, Alex ran past screaming at the top of his lungs. Sean, hurry! Anyway, that's enough of me standing in your way. You've got a journey to pursue, so come on. So it sounds like Alex has been attacked. So yeah. But I didn't really get to finish what I said. But essentially what I said was I am not going to be opening my trainer ID yet. Most of you would not do that anyways, and you will soon know why I just say not yet. I have literally talked to everybody in this town before. I haven't gone this way, actually, but I won't. This is a random NPC's house, this is your house, that's a random NPC, that's a random NPC. This place is the trainer school. Most of these guys don't really have anything to say to you whatsoever, but, yeah. If you're one of those people who loves just reading everything, you can read this. Actually, you might be able to read this, I don't know. But the teachers who you really want to talk to. Meowth, come on out and check on the students. I love how they're all just exclamation points. Oh, hello there, Sean. When the students aren't studying, my Meowth catches them in the act when I send it out. Its Quick Claw has quite a use there. If you're going to get a Pokemon to help you in battles, you should ensure it gets a chance to perform the first move. This item should help with that. Wait, did you just say your Meowth scratches kids for not studying? Isn't that abuse? I don't think you're allowed to do that in schools. A Quick Claw allows Pokemon holding it to strike first. It only works occasionally. Faster Pokemon like my student catching Meowth might still strike first. The teacher recalled her Meowth. So yeah, and I love this one guy here who's just he's clearly playing he's clearly playing a video game in class, and he's even saying it out loud. And finally, creating Magnemite for a Swellow. Come on, Swellow! He shouted that out loud. Oh, this was probably the guy he's trading with. Come on, Magnemite! Yep. These two are clearly playing video games in class and they're not being caught. And that's clearly, like, Game Boy Advanced that they're holding. Don't those need, like, connection cables to trade? I mean, I guess there was, like, a wireless thing that you could get for them, but still, you'd think they would be noticed. So anyways, we were told Graveltown was south of us to head to, so we are going to head on to Graveltown, through the Gravel Canyon. And as soon as I get cut, I can get a Pokemon in the Gravel Canyon, but I currently cannot. Now look, it's Alex. Rats! Late by 5 minutes! Stopping to play with the kids at school was a bad idea. Should I go now? If I go any later, Aunt Jen will scream. And if I go now, she'll still scream. I think I've forgotten his voice entirely. Oh, hey, Sean! Aunt Jen's waiting over time for us right now. My dad says that if you aren't punctual for meeting Aunt Jen, she'll be rather... Those two! That sounded like it was from... Seems we better get to Graveltown immediately! Catch you there! His voice is going to change so many times. I think it's literally already changed like 4 times. I have no idea how his voice is going to go. I don't know if there are any hidden items there. I'm going to go ahead and check for no reason. I don't know why, but I want to check for hidden items. Which there are none right there. Puddle! Graveltown. Sean, you're late! I would like to apologize in advance. Well, actually, it's already not really in advance, but I am terrible at doing female voices. You're late, you're late, you're late, you're late, you're late! You've kept me waiting, you know. Well, never mind. To my lab with haste. Yay, I don't have to press any buttons. And, yeah, I still don't have to press any buttons. So, Sean, seems like we're real late. Okay, so now that we're all here, it's down to business. On the table there are 3 Pokeballs. Or Pokemon. Each Pokemon are held inside these Pokeballs. They were given to me by Professor Tim before his retirement. So pick a Pokeball on the table, with haste. Starting with Alex. Jen, can you let Sean pick first? Alright, Sean, you go and pick one. Alex, I'm sure you just want me to do that so that you can have a Pokemon that's good against mine. Sean, don't disappoint me in your choice, okay? Go on, pick one. So, now is the time where I'm getting into looking at my trainer ID, which I said I was going to do. Essentially what the trainer ID is used for is the ID number. Right there, 5794. Essentially what that does is, I hope I'm remembering this in the right order, it's kind of different for everybody, but I am going to go ahead and do it in this way. Essentially what I'm going to go by is the last number in my trainer ID. If it is a 1 to 3, if it's a 1 to 3, I get Bulbasaur, which, yeah, I probably should have said Grass Starter, but yeah, Kanto starters. It's a ROM hack of Fire Red. It's clear there's going to be Kanto starters. So I would get Bulbasaur if it's 1 to 3. 4 to 6 is going to be Squirtle, so I got Squirtle. Ba-da-ba! I'm pretty sure. Whatever the second Pokeball is, it's what I get. And 7 to 9 is Charmander. 0, if it ends in 0, it's going to be my choice. So let's go ahead and go for that second Pokeball. Squirtle! I'm actually really happy for that. I really wanted to get a Squirtle. So, Sean, you decided on the water Pokemon Squirtle? If it's not in their text color, I'm going to read it like that. Aunt Jen's color is red, so that's not her speaking. Interesting choice. Sean, receive a Squirtle from Professor Jen. Do you want to give a nickname to the cat Squirtle? Or to this Squirtle? Yes, I do, because it's a requirement in the rules that I have to nickname them. Now, whilst a lot of people would choose to go for naming themes, I'm just going to go with actual names. So, our Squirtle... I'm actually in the middle of doing a Nuzlocke run of Pokemon Yellow at the current time. I think I'm going to name this Squirtle off of my Squirtle in Pokemon Yellow Nuzlocke. Though it isn't going to be on YouTube. I hit the X button by mistake. Now I have to go all the way back. And my Squirtle's name in in Pokemon Yellow Nuzlocke, I can just say Pokemon Yellow, is actually Anthony. Anthony the Squirtle is his name. So I'm going to have Anthony the Squirtle once more. I'll take this one then. Alex received the Bulbasaur from Professor Jen. I knew he was only going to do that so that my Pokemon would be weak to his. So you're probably expecting it to be like Fire Red and Leaf Green. When we just go to here, he tries to battle you? No. Now you're probably thinking, yay, no rival battle, I can just leave. Wait, what? No! Wait, Chad. My Pokemon looks awesome, but it gives me that feeling. The feeling that I should see how awesome it is. Come on, battle me. I don't know if no is an option, but I'm gonna hit yes anyways. I knew you'd see it my way. Come on now, isn't that the same text that your rival in Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum says? Well, I don't know anyways. You're challenged by rival Alex. I don't care if I am challenged by Alex. It's just going to be a freaking Bulbasaur versus it's going to be a frog versus a turtle. Dad's advice echoes. Sean, do you remember what a Pokemon battle is? Yes, I do, and I'm sure everybody who's watching this also knows what a Pokemon battle is, so I'm just going to speed through this text. So, let's go ahead and start with a tackle. Actually, that's all I'm going to do. Oh, and one thing I should mention, that all the starters in this... Oh, wow, great. That's lovely. All the starters in this actually are going to have berries equipped to them. As you can see right there, Anthony is eating a berry. Downside is that next, this Bulbasaur is going to eat its berry. Right now. So I'm kind of worried about who's going to win or lose, because actually it looks like we're pretty even. Unless it gets another crit, which would be terrible. Looks like Anthony is currently in the lead damage-wise. Come on, Anthony! You can do this, Anthony! Yes! Didn't even have to use our potion. And now, our Squirtle grew to level 6. Anthony. Oh, I never really checked its stats or nature. I suppose I should do that. Ouch! You nailed me there! I don't care what I did to you. Oh, and so better explaining the Nuzlocke encounter options, since Anthony's a male Squirtle, I could only count the first female Pokemon I find as my first encounter. Encounter? If it's a male Pokemon or genderless Pokemon, I just skip over it as if, and pretend it wasn't my first encounter. Well, that's a kickstart to my day. I feel like I can do so much now. Well then, I'll be off to explore the new world. Follow me soon, Sean. care. Wait, what? Why does this house not have a door? I mean, I guess it's supposed to signal that you just can't go in it, I suppose. But how do its residents get in? I suppose they just climb through the windows, like in Sorcery 2. That's not really a spoiler for anyone who's not played that. I recommend you should, though. Oh, Sean! It said post on the door instead of like Poke, so this is like a post office instead of a Pokemon Center. You're finally a trainer now, huh? I actually have one last delivery for you. Ever. Only because the normal workers are on duty. So, could you deliver this to your dad? Of course I can! Oh, if you're wondering why there's no Mart in this town, there actually is. This guy's the Mart. And of course, like always, you gotta deliver some kind of parcel before you can buy Pokeballs. But of course, it shouldn't take long, and this is actually not extremely useless. It's not just a quest for the Pokedex, which I should point out we still don't have. But hey, that doesn't matter. Actually, I could take this time to... not bag. I could take this time to go ahead and go over Anthony's stats. Anthony the Squirtle. He's a serious nature. He should be serious about this. He's serious about he's serious about locating a lover in this series. Met in Gravel Town at level 5. It's the arrow keys, I forgot. Torrent ability, of course, every Squirtle has that. Really good in the special defense factor and defense, which, again, it's Squirtle, it should be. And just tackle and tail whip. That's very clear of a Squirtle to have. But then go ahead and leave. Oh, as I was saying, it's not just a useless quest for the Pokedex. You actually get the running shoes for this, which I am so glad that the running shoes are so early on. It used to be so annoying getting through the original Pokemon Fire Red with just no running shoes until you beat the first gym. It was so annoying. But luckily, now that we are in the hometown of Seashore City, speaking to our father. Welcome back, Sean. So, you finally have a Pokemon of your own? That's great news. Oh, you have something for me? I delivered the parcel to Dad! Ah, finally it came in. This is something I ordered for you, actually. It's a pair of running shoes, which is pretty essential for your big journey. Thank you so much, Father. I needed these before the first gym, which I don't even know what the first gym is. I'm gonna have to rewatch that playthrough. It's been so long since I've watched it, and I don't even think I've finished it. With the running shoes equipped, blah blah blah, everybody knows this. Hold down the B button, and you run. Well, that's not necessarily true, because it's the X button on this. I wore similar ones when I started my adventure. Anyway, walking around with your Pokemon should make them warm up to you a bit. You should definitely keep Pokemon in your party to get them to enjoy traveling with you. Oh, and I almost forgot! Sorry, I have something that I need you to give to Jen. It's something she needs for her field research. A Devon scope. Wasn't that like something in freaking Pokemon Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald? I've never beaten Ruby, I've beaten Sapphire, and I've beaten Emerald. Not that you needed to know that, but I suppose it's just something I wanted to say. Professor Jen needs that item. It's pretty expensive, so don't go losing it, Sean. Okay then. I'm going to go ahead and just leave now. Because clearly you're not like most parents where when a child leaves, they always try to stop them. No. You're one of the cool dads that lets me go out on dangerous journeys, risking my life on every step I take. Bye, Dad. I love how we're like literally like not miles away, but like a long ways away from our house when we just shout bye, Dad. So, anyways, entering the Pokemon Research Laboratory again, and by the way, I told you it wasn't just a stupid quest for the Pokedex, but it was a quest for the Pokedex. Oh, Shaw, did you spend a bit of time with your Pokemon? I spent like 10 minutes with it. It seems to be growing used to you already. I spent 10 minutes with it. You have something for me? Yes, I do. It's about time your dad gave it to me. It'll be pretty helpful for my research. Jeez, talk about impatient. Jeez. Hey, Alex, how do you survive this woman as your aunt? Not late now. What is it, Aunt Jen? Oh, right, I have a request. A request? I can't talk properly yet. It's the beginning Let's Play stutters. I don't know. I don't know. This special device here is a Pokedex. It automatically records data on Pokemon you've seen or caught. This is the latest Rijon model. I keep thinking that the L is a 1 and that there's a typo, but it's not. Sean, Alex, take these with you. Yay! An item that I'm never going to use except for really weird purposes, because everybody who has played Pokemon or heard of it knows what the Pokedex is. So here's some tools for catching Pokemon. 5 Pokeballs. Put the Pokeballs in the Pokeballs pocket. So, yes, that means now we will be able to begin our journey in the world of Kanto. Not Kanto! Of Rijon. And I realize I'm skipping over all this text. Okay, Jen, we'll help you out. If she wants us to fill the Pokedex, that's not going to work too well. I can only catch 1 Pokemon per route, and you're a cheater, so you can likely do more or less than that. So I don't care. You're going to finish it first, because I'm going by a Wedlocke, so I can't really try to fill the Pokedex too well. So, we're coming up on close to 30 minutes, and I think what we're going to do is we're going to close off the episode getting more Pokeballs, and then we're going to come back getting our first Pokemon in the next episode. But let's go ahead into the post office first, and I believe we should be able to afford 15 Pokeballs. Exactly, with $80 remaining. Indeed, that's going to be 15 Pokeballs for us, so that we can begin our journey. And the first place we're going to be getting a Pokemon at is going to be inside the Merson Cave. What do you have to say, Fatty?
Are you exploring Mason Cave? It's long enough that you should save your progress when you need to rest.
This is a wrong hack. I can't save my progress. And anyways, guys, since I have decided when I'm going to return to this and blah blah blah, since this is where we're going to sign off, even though it's not quite the 30-minute marker yet, I don't even care. I have been Total Pokemon, signing off. Until next time, you guys, bye.